And, this is largely what our business looks like today. However, over the last year, after doing this research that we're sharing with you, we started to wonder, well, what about extensions? What about looking beyond this kind of notion of end-to-end being awareness to getting the ADU to maybe there are some opportunities beyond the actual ADU, because people that are involved in caregiving, family caregiving situations know that, okay, now that I've got my mom in her ADU in my backyard, that's just the start, because you need a whole platoon of caregivers and resources and services to really make that work. So we have been exploring what would it mean to kind of go beyond uh, the end state of providing ADUs, and we're looking now at kind of the full cycle. And so some of the research that we did led us to insights that support these kinds of directions. So one was, instead of looking at individual ADUs, one-off customers, what if we could kind of leverage resources? What if we could start to look for clusters of developments in given neighborhoods? Maybe we can even get some sponsorship at the enterprise level to sponsor maybe housing and homes for their employees who are taking care of their who are caregivers for their parents. But in trying to gather multiple ADUs at one time, our thinking is that we can perhaps start to leverage those resources, make them actually less expensive by building them as a larger project and project managing them at the same time. And at the same time, start to use that not just to speak to individual discrete customers, but also to then start to include them into this community. So maybe there's an underlying kind of community platform that we can start to build in the initial stages of our relationship with our clients, but then extend that into a world of services that would take people across this full cycle, and to start to look to building partnerships and alliances to provide support services and resources, well beyond just the completion of the ADU structure. And so that kind of leads us to where we are now, which is we're really working to perfect the ADUs themselves, and yet we're also identifying partnerships and alliances to help us enable, building this full cycle. And if you really look at this full cycle and we do this properly, it really is kind of a nice cycle that will help support even more people joining the community.